come home after a long day. You walk through the door, and your dog is shaking. Not excited shaking, not happy to see you shaking, not happy to see you shaking. A different kind. A small nervous tremor running through their body like a quiet engine left running too long. Their ears are back, their tail is tucked. And the moment they see you, they press against your legs like you just rescued them from something terrible. You feel guilty immediately. You shouldn't. You had to work. You had to leave. You had no choice. But the guilt doesn't care about logic. It sits heavy in your chest anyway. Here is what most dog owners never realize until it is too late. Your dog spends every moment you are gone, not resting, not sleeping peacefully on the couch, but waiting, listening, anxious. Your absence is not empty space to them. It is a door left open, and they do not know if what walks through will be you or something they should fear. But there is something you can do before you leave, something that takes less than 3 minutes. Something that changes everything about how your dog experiences being alone. And number 4 on this list will completely reframe how you see your dog's mind. You love your dog. Of course you do. You would never intentionally cause them stress. But intention does not erase impact, and the truth is uncomfortable. Most separation anxiety is not caused by trauma, it is caused by routine. Specifically, by what you do in the 3 minutes before you walk out the door. Think about your current leaving routine. You grab your keys. You put on your shoes. You maybe give a quick pat, a rushed, be good, and then you disappear behind a door that separates your dog from everything they love. From their perspective, you were there 1 second and gone the next. No warning, no preparation, just absence. And here is what your dog feels in that moment. Confusion, then searching, then checking every room. Then waiting by the door. Then a low building anxiety that something has gone wrong because you left without explaining why. Your dog does not know what a job is. They do not understand traffic, meetings, deadlines, or grocery stores. All they know is that the center of their universe walked away without a goodbye that made sense to them. The guilt you feel is not a mistake. It is a signal. And you are about to learn exactly what to do with it. By the end of this video, you will understand why your dog panics when you leave, how to give them instant calm before you walk out the door, and 6 specific things you can do today that will transform their alone time from suffering into stillness. Most people skip the most important step. You will not. And the 5th point will show you why your dog has been trying to tell you something with their eyes that you have been missing every single morning. Let us begin. The first thing you must do before leaving your dog alone is something almost nobody thinks about. You need to stop making your departure a big deal. Most owners do the opposite. They build the moment up without realizing it. Extra pets, extra treats, extra soothing words. They think they are comforting their dog. But here is what the dog hears. Something is wrong. Why is the routine different? Why is my human acting strange? What do they know that I do not? Dr. Karen Overall, a veterinary behaviorist at the University of Pennsylvania, has studied attachment behavior in dogs for decades. Her research shows that dogs are exquisitely sensitive to changes in human emotional state and routine. When you suddenly become more affectionate, more anxious, or more rushed than usual, your dog registers that shift faster than you can blink, and they interpret it as a warning. So here is the rule. Make your departure boring. Absolutely, completely, unremarkably boring. Your keys go in your pocket like always. Your shoes go on like always. You do not look back at your dog with sad eyes. You do not whisper, "I'm sorry," like you are abandoning them forever. You simply leave. The less emotional energy you put into the moment of departure, the less anxiety your dog will absorb. Think about the difference between a calm parent leaving a child with a babysitter versus a panicked parent who keeps coming back for one more hug. The first child is fine. The second child is a mess. Your dog is no different. They take their emotional cues from you. If you act like leaving is a disaster, they will believe you. This is where it gets subtle. Most people try this once, see no immediate change, and give up. But your dog has learned your old routine over months or years. Rewiring that expectation takes time. Stay boring, stay consistent, and watch what happens. The second thing you must do is physically exhausting your dog before you leave, but not in the way you think. Most owners hear exercise and imagine a 20-minute walk around the block. That is better than nothing, but it is not enough. Your dog needs deep, panting, tongue hanging out exhaustion to quiet the anxious part of their brain. Why? Because a tired dog does not have the energy to panic. Veterinary neurologists have mapped the connection between physical exertion and emotional regulation in canines. When a dog runs, fetches, or plays hard enough to elevate their heart rate for a sustained period, their brain releases endorphins and serotonin, the same neurochemicals that calm human anxiety. A dog who has burned that energy is literally chemically incapable of the same level of stress response as a dog who has been sitting inside all day. Think about the difference between coming home from a full day of hiking versus coming home from an hour of sitting in traffic. Your body feels different. Your mind feels different. Your dog is exactly the same. But here's the detail most people miss completely. The timing matters more than the intensity. Do not exhaust your dog and then leave immediately. If you do, their heart rate is still elevated, their breathing is still fast, and their body is still in high arousal mode. That is not calm. That is a different kind of alertness. Instead, finish the exercise 15 to 20 minutes before you leave. Give them time to settle. Give their breathing time to return to normal. Give their brain time to shift from excitement to contentment. That window, those 15 minutes of quiet after hard exercise, is the golden period. Your dog is physically fulfilled, chemically calm, and mentally prepared for rest. That is when you should leave, not before. The sixth point on this list will connect directly to this. But first, there is something even more important you are probably skipping entirely. Third thing is the one almost every dog owner gets wrong. It is also the simplest. And it will hurt to hear. You need to stop giving your dog attention right before you leave. Not less attention. Zero attention. Here is why. Most dogs learn a painful pattern. You give them love. You give them pets. You give them your full emotional presence. And then, 5 seconds later, you vanish. From your dog's perspective, the love predicts the loss. Every time you shower them with affection, they start to feel the anxiety rising because they know what comes next. This is called a conditioned emotional response. Pavlov's dogs learn to salivate at a bell. Your dog has learned to feel dread at your goodbye pets. The fix is uncomfortable, but effective. For the 10 minutes before you leave, ignore your dog completely. No eye contact, no talking, no touching. You are not being mean. You are being strategic. You are breaking the association between attention and abandonment. When you stop warning your dog that you are about to leave, they stop anticipating the loss. And anticipation is what drives separation anxiety more than the actual departure itself. Try this tomorrow morning. Do your routine silently. Do not look at your dog when you pick up your keys. Walk out without a word. The first time you do this, it will feel wrong. It will feel cold. But watch your dog's face through the window as you leave. Do you see panic? Or do you see confusion that slowly settles into acceptance? That acceptance is the goal. That acceptance is the beginning of calm. The fourth point is where this gets deeply emotional. Because your dog is not just anxious. They are trying to tell you something specific. And you have been missing the message. Your dog is communicating with you constantly, but most of their signals happen in a language you were never taught to read. When you leave, your dog experiences something called isolation distress. It is not the same as true separation anxiety, though most people use the terms interchangeably. Isolation distress is fear of being alone. Separation anxiety is fear of losing you specifically. The distinction matters because the solutions are different, and you cannot fix what you cannot name. Look at your dog's eyes the next time you pick up your keys. Do you see the whites? That is called whale eye. It is a stress signal. Do you see them licking their lips when there is no food nearby? Another stress signal. Do you see one paw lifted slightly off the ground? A freeze response. Your dog is not hiding how they feel. They are shouting it in a language you have not learned. Dr. Patricia McConnell, an applied animal behaviorist from the University of Wisconsin, has spent 30 years studying how dogs express emotion. Her conclusion is simple and devastating. Most separation problems are not the dog's fault. They are the owner's blind spot. The dog has been screaming for help. The owner just did not know what screaming looked like in a creature that cannot bark for help when it matters most. This is not blame. This is freedom. Because once you see the signals, you cannot unsee them. And once you cannot unsee them, you cannot unknow what your dog needs. The next thing you will learn is the single most effective tool for instant calm. It takes 30 seconds. It costs nothing, and almost nobody does it. Give your dog a job before you leave. Not a command, not a trick, a real job that engages their brain and gives them a reason to be calm. Dogs were not designed for leisure. They were designed for purpose. Herding, guarding, retrieving, tracking every breed has an inherited drive to complete tasks. When you leave a dog alone with nothing to do, you are not leaving them in peace. You are leaving them in a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. Anxiety rushes in to fill the space. The job can be simple. A puzzle toy stuffed with their breakfast. A frozen Kong that takes 20 minutes to empty. A snuffle mat that forces them to use their nose. A specific toy you only bring out when you leave one, they associate with your absence in a positive way, not a fearful one. Dr. Brian Hare, who runs the Duke Canine Cognition Center, has shown that dogs experience a neurochemical reward when solving problems. The satisfaction of figuring out a puzzle releases dopamine. Dopamine feels good, and a dog who feels good is not a dog who panics. Here is the secret that transforms everything. Do not just hand your dog the toy as you walk out. Give it to them 2 minutes before you leave. Let them start working on it while you are still there. Then, while they are focused, absorbed, distracted, walk away. They will not notice you leaving because they are already doing something meaningful. The toy becomes the transition. The toy becomes the goodbye. And the toy becomes the bridge between your presence and your absence. You have probably tried giving your dog a toy before leaving. It did not work because you handed it over and ran. Try this instead. Give the toy early. Stay present while they begin. Then disappear into the background of their focus. They will not panic because they will not even notice you left until they finish the job. And by then, the hardest moment is already behind them. Most people stop here. They think the 6 things they just learned are enough. They are not. There is one more layer, and it is the most important layer of all. Your dog does not need you to never leave. Your dog needs you to leave in a way that makes sense to them. They need predictability. They need ritual. They need proof that you always come back. Every time you leave and return, you're teaching your dog something. If you leave anxiously, you teach them anxiety. If you leave calmly, you teach them calm. If you return and immediately flood them with overwhelming affection, you teach them that your return is a chaotic emotional event, which reinforces that your absence was also a chaotic emotional event. The cycle continues. The dog who learns that you leave and return the same way every single time, boring departure, calm return, steady presence, stops waiting at the door. They stop shaking. They stop panting. They stop pressing their body against the barrier between you and them like they are trying to break through to safety, because they realize something they could not understand before. You always come back. And that realization, once it truly lands in your dog's heart, changes everything. The silence when you are gone is no longer terrifying. It is just quiet. The house is no longer empty. It is just still. And your dog is no longer trembling by the door. They are curled up on the couch, exactly where you left them, waiting not with fear, but with patience. You cannot fix years of separation anxiety in one day. But you can start today. You can make the leaving boring. You can exhaust their body. You can stop the goodbye pets. You can learn their language. You can give them a job. And you can return the same way every single time, steady as a heartbeat. Your dog has been trying to tell you something with every glance, every tremor, every desperate press of their body against your legs when you walk through the door. They have been saying the same thing over and over in the only language they have. I am scared when you leave. Please help me not be. You have the answer now. The only question left is what you will do tomorrow morning when you pick up your keys. The same thing you have always done? Or something different? If this changed how you see your dog, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, what does your dog do when you leave? Not what you assumed. What do they actually do? Go check the camera. You might be surprised by what you see.